Hey, how's it going? I'm back in the video, and today I'm talking about how the Chicago Bulls just pulled off one of the most risky trades we've seen in a very long time from an NBA team. Now, I know the title may be a little bit of an exaggeration with riskiest of all time, but it is still a very, very risky trade, and the fact that there is a good chance it could work out, but there's also a good chance it does not work out as well. And this video is not me bashing the Chicago Bulls in any way, because as a small market team, I understand these are risks that you have to take, so I completely understand why they did make the risk, and I do think it was a risk they should have taken, and it is going to be interesting to see how it works out. In this video, I'm just going to get into a few reasons why I think it is very risky for them to do this, and how their risk and reward are very, very high in this situation from this trade. So I'm going to get into all that in this video, but before we do get into the actual video itself, I just would like to inform you that there is a little thing. If you scroll down a little bit down from the video, it looks like a thumbs up, and that's what it is. And if you click it, it turns blue, and maybe, just maybe, you could click that if you do like the video. And if you really, really like the video, well, then you could even maybe make that subscribe button turn red. That would be really cool as well. You don't have to do it. I mean, personally, if you're a good person, you would do it, but I'm not judging. But good people would do it. Not judging, you don't have to, but you should if you're a good person. Now, obviously, I'm just joking when I say that. Not really, maybe, kind of, sort of, but yeah. But now that I got all that out of the way, let's get right into this video. So now, before I get into anything actually to do with the Bulls or the Magic in this trade, let's get into the actual trade package itself, which was the Chicago Bulls received Nikola Vuecivic and Al-Farouq Aminu, while the Orlando Magic got Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter, and two top 4 protected first-round picks, one this year and one in 2023. So basically, they gave up 2 first-round picks and an okay young center who's having a down year this year, but still has a lot of potential for a top 5 center in the NBA, and then a role player at best in Al-Farouq Aminu. So I think, obviously, by looking at the trade package, you can tell that the Bulls are trying to go into win now and make a playoff push, while the Orlando Magic are definitely going into rebuilding, as they're one of the biggest sellers in the entire NBA. And now this trade is not really risky, in my opinion, for the Orlando Magic, because they just traded their entire team pretty much. They're going for picks. They got 2 nice first-round picks coming up that could potentially both be lottery picks, which would be huge for a rebuilding Magic team, as now they would be getting their own lottery first-round picks to go along with 2 more lottery first-round picks coming in the very near future. And then also Wendell Carter Jr. could be another nice piece to piece along with the team. Hopefully he can develop with a new scene, as his rookie year looked very promising, and this year isn't looking as promising. So hopefully he can get his career back on track with the Orlando Magic and maybe kind of find his way in the league. So potentially they got a very nice young center and also 2 very good picks in the first round. So I don't think this trade was risky at all for Orlando, especially for the situation they're currently going into. But now, why the Chicago Bulls? This is a huge risk for them, because the Bulls are obviously trying to make the playoffs right now, and with them being in the 10th seed, they are in the play-in tournament to make the 8th seed in the playoffs. So right now, if they just stayed where they were at, they would have a lot of potential to make the playoffs, because they would be going into a play-in tournament where it is, I think it's the 9th and 10th seed play 1 game, and then one of those 2 teams have to beat the 8th seed twice to make it into the playoffs. So yeah, that would be very interesting to see what they can do in that. But first, they have to get there, which could be very, very difficult for them to do, as we've seen these mid-season trades absolutely blow up in teams' faces before. And with the Chicago Bulls, since they've got him, they are 0-2. Now, I'm not going to say anything bad about it yet. It is still far, far too early to judge this trade and if it's worth it or not, but they don't have much time for this season to make the playoffs, as it is very likely that they might not get the chemistry in time. They lose a lot of games because their chemistry is bad, and they don't have as much depth because they traded away 2 solid players. It is very possible that this trade could not work out for this season, and they'd miss the playoffs and even the play-in tournament to give themselves a chance this year, which would mean they're giving away a lottery pick as long as it doesn't land in the top 4, which it most likely will not, because I highly doubt they drop enough to be going into the bottom of the Eastern Conference, which is a big reason why I think they will at least make the play-in tournament, because the teams under them are very much worse than them, and they would have to go on a very big skid for the other teams to catch up that are currently behind them. So I do think the Bulls will at least make the play-in tournament, but I do think it is a very high likely chance that they don't end up making the playoffs this year, and they just gave away a lottery pick. But yes, they do have Nikola Vuecivic, and this trade could work out the following year as their chemistry would be better, and they could have more time to build off of each other and really get better. So I think this trade, although it might not work immediately like they would want it to, I think it could very much help them make the playoffs the next following season. And that would be the 2022 season, and then the next season is when their lottery pick would be going into effect. But that would be very risky as well, because Vucevic would then be around 33 years old when that lottery pick, or that pick that they just traded, is coming back up, and that is top 4 protected. And they will be most likely struggling to make the playoffs at that point, because like I said, Vucevic will be 33. No telling what's going to happen with Zach Lavine. Patrick Williams might not develop the way they thought he was going to, and a lot of things like that could really struggle and stunt the growth of this team. And if all of that happens and they end up being a lottery team in 2023, then they're going to be stuck in a situation where they have a 34-year-old center, Nikola Vucevic, probably an upset Zach Lavine because the team isn't a playoff team yet, plus no lottery pick for that season, which could very much hurt that team's future. And it is a huge risk that the Bulls just took, because now if they do make the playoffs consistently after this trade, and they do make the playoffs this year and for the next 2 years coming after that because of this trade, it is a very successful trade, and the Bulls made the right move, as Zach Lavine will probably stay with them. Vucevic and him will be very good together, and no telling what they can do from their signing and trading going into the future. But if they don't make the playoffs and Zach Lavine is still upset and ends up leaving the Bulls, and then you're stuck with an old Nikola Vucevic, well, then you could be in a very, very sticky situation if you are the Chicago Bulls, because you just traded one of your better young talents. Even though he's having a bad season, he was still one of your more promising young guys on the team. And then also now you lost Zach Lavine, and you're paying Nikola Vucevic a good bit of money, so you're kind of put your team in a bad situation. So this team either made a very good move, were able to keep their franchise player in their team in Zach Lavine by bringing in another star level player, or it blows up, Zach Lavine still leaves, they lose 2 high lottery picks, and now they're stuck paying an old center a lot of money while still being a very bad team. So there is a way that this could really blow up in the Chicago Bulls' face, but there's also another way where this could really work out very good for the Chicago Bulls. So yeah, I don't know. That's why it's a risk. It's very interesting, very hard to judge whether this trade is going to work or if it's not going to work. It's going to be a very, very interesting trade. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this trade is risky? How do you think it's going to work out? Any hard thoughts in the comment section below. And like I said earlier, if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, especially if you listen to the video all the way through like right now, because well, then that just shows that you like the video, you watched it all the way through, so you might as well hit it. I'd be a good person. Like I said, you might as well, because you like the video, and I have plenty of other videos coming out and already posted to the channel, so you might as well hit the subscribe button and the like button to help me out, and plus you get content in return. That's a good deal to me. But yeah, like I said, like the video, hit the subscribe button. I just cannot thank you enough for the people that did watch to this point, and I never do this, but if you did watch to this point, just because I'm interested and I'm kind of running an experiment, if you are watching right now, comment below, say sausage, just say that. I just want to see if anyone really does watch this far into the video. But that's going to be it for this video, so all glory to God. I hope you have a blessed day, have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye, boo, blah.